Hari Om. So you understood the meaning of dharana. The first stage of this core yoga. But Patanjali is calling this core yoga as internal yoga, antaranga yoga. He is using this word after some sutras, that is saying it is internal yoga. And obviously the first 5 components become external yoga, that is Bahiranga yoga. So after mastering dharana, one has to enter in this second stage, and that is called dhyana. Dhyan means advanced stage of dharana only. It is not a separate component. When you master dharana, your mind will become more under your control. As I have given the example of Om, suppose you have decided to practice dharana on Om as an object and started practicing. You are restricting your mind within the framework. It is the natural tendency, mind goes out many times, maybe 100 times. But you continue the practice, go on instructing the mind, and mind will slowly start listening your instructions. First day mind will go out maybe 100 times. After a few days mind will go out maybe only 90 times during that period. So this breaks will go on reducing 90, 100, 80, 70, 40, 30, 20, and finally you may reach the stage where mind is not going out at all during the period you decided. Then it becomes a perfect dharana, and then we can turn over to the next stage of dhyan. If you are not perfect in dharana, you cannot turn over to dhyan. You cannot do at all, even if you try to do something. Because dharana is a must. That is a base, and then on that base only we can practice dhyana. Now dhyan is explained in the second sutra of the 3rd chapter. Tatra pratyaya ekatanata dhyanam. Tatra word means whatever I already explained, that you must be master in dharana. So when you are perfect in dharana, then that is the meaning of tatra. Then pratyaya ekatanata. This is a very specific word used by Patanjali. Pratyaya is an experience during that dharana only. And as I told you, during dharana, one can experience the border of the picture, the color of the picture, background, actual color, the different size, and all those. These are the different aspects which we experience alternatively, because we are allowed our mind to move within the framework. It is not going out of framework, that is definite, but within the framework it moves. One incident, mind experience the golden border. Second mind will experience the blue background or the orange color or something like that. So mind is moving within the framework. And then we have to select now. This is ekatanata. Eka means one. So you have to select only one experience. That is your choice. Because your mind is experiencing number of aspects of Om. Those are number of experiences are there. Then you have to select only one. You may select only blue color and focus on blue color only. Now mind is not moving within the framework, but mind is fixed on that blue color only. Or you can select orange color, so mind will fix on the orange color. Or you can fix mind here on certain part of that Om. So you select one aspect and focus your mind only on that only. And let your mind be there on the particular experience or the aspect for the full period of dharana or dhyan, whatever is now. That is dhyan. That means in dhyan, mind is not moving within the framework. Forget about the movement outside the frame. But within the frame also, mind is not moving. Mind is fixed on a one aspect of it. And further we can say that aspect also we have to go on reducing in size. Slowly. That is the advanced stage of dhyan only. And ultimately it will reach to a point. Because whatever the thing is there, if you go on reducing it in size, finally it will reach to point. And if you know, the definition of point is that which has no dimension but existence. In that case, we can say the mind will be concentrating on a point only, which is a reduction of the size of the aspect which you have selected. So point is the ultimate reduction, ultimate point, and which has no dimension. When there is no dimension, mind is not moving at all. So the movement of the mind is totally stopped in dhyan, or when you stop your movements totally, it becomes dhyan. That is how dhyan is very much advanced stage of dharana. Dharana itself is very difficult, and the advanced stage is very, very difficult. So people normally say we are doing and all that, but what I say, the people are mostly doing dharana only, and that also not perfect, because sometimes the mind goes out of the picture. But anyway, regular practice can develop a mastery over dharana, and so your mind will remain within the framework. But now selection of the one aspect and focusing on one aspect and finally reducing the one aspect slowly, and finally it will become a point. So in simple word, I can say dharana is normal concentration on object, and dhyan is pinpointed concentration. Again, point word comes there, pinpointed. Point of the pin, which has no dimension practically. So in dhyan, mind is focused on such a smallest than the smallest, we can say, point. So mind is not moving at all. So we have got full control over the mind during the period of dhyan. Same as dharana, we have to fix the period of dhyan before starting, that I will be practicing dhyan for half an hour, 1 hour, something like that. And during that period, mind should not move at all. This is the perfect stage of dhyana. And automatically, when this stage is achieved, the next stage of samadhi is there, which is explained in the third sutra by Patanjali. Hari Om.